Welcome to Continue Countdown, the show where the Warp Zone staff races through 9 stories from the great big world of video games in 30 minutes. I am your host, John Skelzo, and joining me this time is Warp Zone staff writer Mike Ryan.
Heyo.
And founding editor Adam Wolcott.
Hello.
We start things off with Activision's announcement of Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, which will be out this November and will star Oscar winner Kevin Spacey as some kind of military contractor / amateur dictator. I don't play a whole lot of Call of Duty. I'm not sure either of you guys do either. But are you more excited for Kevin Spacey or all the crazy future technology Advanced Warfare is going to have?
You know, why Kevin Spacey?
Frank Underwood.
Why not Kevin Spacey?
I'll tell you what. It's because of House of Cards. Because Kevin Spacey's playing the evil mastermind. So they're like, hey, let's do this in Call of Duty, and we'll try to get similar character just without the accent.
You see, I would have figured because it's Advanced Warfare, and the guy has the word space in his name. Like the Final Frontier type situation.
But then they would have just put him in Call of Duty Ghosts, because there's a space scene at the beginning of that.
Oh, yeah. All right, well, I got nothing then. You know, it's Call of Duty. You know, it's we pretty much know what to expect. I mean, unless the one of the weapons in it is the cerebral bore from Turok 2, then I probably am not interested.
Well, you know, I don't play it every year. Ghost is the first one I've played in a long time, but you know, it's one of those things like, all right, you have to really be in the mood to play that kind of game. It's just an arcade-style first-person shooter, and they keep on doing it every single year. Now, adding Spacey, that's kind of cool, but is it enough to hook people? That's got to be what is going to make the decision. They have to keep the franchise fresh somehow.
Honestly, it kind of is enough to hook me. I never play Call of Duty. I don't think I've ever played a Call of Duty. I am a very bad gamer, but I love Kevin Spacey. I mean, he plays a great villain. Usual Suspects, 7.
He's almost certainly going to be the villain of this game, and somehow, even if it's like one of those things where you think he's not. Call of Duty pulls that a lot, where they have somebody who you think is the good guy, but he's not at the end. So, and chances are it's going to be the same thing with Spacey.
Well, I don't know. From the first trailer, it seems like he's definitely going to be the villain, and
well, it sounds more like he's going to be
a good villain.
He's going to be one of those villains that you kind of can go, all right, I kind of see his point, sort of thing, where he's not a cartoon character, like, for instance, Frank Underwood, who is a cartoon character, basically.
But when has he not been a cartoon character? I mean,
yeah,
very sorry, spoilers for 20-year-old movie, but Kaiser Soze is a cartoon character, but he's fantastic and great.
That's true. He also plays a cartoon character, like, at award shows, so the guy is just sort of a crazy guy.
I know it's just a video game for the movie-type people, but this is right up Kevin Spacey's alley, and it could make it an interesting game for people that don't normally play Call of Duty.
And then chances are they probably did this because in House of Cards, you see him playing Call of Duty all the time. So the Activision's probably going, ooh, we have a crossover possibility.
That's just, I don't even know what to say to that.
That's brilliant.
It's brilliant, but yeah,
evil marketing at its finest.
Hey, you know, that show has a lot of blatant Sony advertising. It's hilarious. Activision wanted a piece of that pie.
Well, as long as they find a way to work them into Skylanders, that'd be cool too.
That would be interesting. Guitar Hero Kevin Spacey's coming next.
No more Guitar Hero. No, that's done. But there's also lots of other crazy marketers in the world. For example, Lucasfilm, or part of Disney now, and the Star Wars Expanded Universe, which is no more. All the games, gone. All the extra TV shows, except for, I believe, the Clone Wars and Rebels, gone. Everything. Adam, what are you going to miss most about the Star Wars EU?
Probably Knights of the Old Republic. That's really the only one I really got into. But that game and its sequel were so good, and you know, I hate the fact they never made a third one. All the other ones, you know, I didn't pay much attention to the extended universe, but that one especially, if they're going to come and say, "Oh, this no longer happened," it's like, no, you can't do that. Especially when those games were probably better than the prequels.
I never played the Knights of the Old Republic games, and I know I really should. That's another one that makes me a very bad gamer.
Dude.
I know.
You're not alone. I haven't played either one of them.
Oh my God, I'm leaving.
Come back! Shadows of the Empire, wasn't that great?
Oh yeah, that was
the first great N64 game that wasn't Super Mario 64.
But Revan, and you know,
I don't know who that is.
I know, because you haven't played that game, and now I want to stab you through my computer.
My whole experience with the extended universe is probably the Ewok Adventure and Battle for Endor. The 2 movies that came out in like 1984, and they were awful, but as like a 6-year-old, I loved them.
But my question is the Star Wars Holiday Special okay, or did they get rid of that?
That's not
That'll
even
be-
funny as a joke.
That'll be DLC.
DLC, nice. Are they going to remaster that and like attach it to the beginning of episode 7?
They'll find a way to work it into the plot.
It's Life Day.
It's gonna be one of those shows again.
It is. This is our third show, and I apologize to everyone that's listening already.
Moving on.
Yes, moving on, please.
I don't even need a segue for that. Let's just.
That didn't go as planned. Well, Star Wars has a lot of famous deserts, and Microsoft has been digging in the desert last week, I believe it was last week, looking for ET cartridges for the Atari 2600 in a New Mexico landfill. And they found them. Of course they did, because they've always been there, and we've always known they were there. Adam, this took place pretty much in your backyard. Is this a big deal? Should anyone care?
No, because I don't know where this whole thing that it was a hoax or it wasn't real or whatever, because this was written about 30 years ago, and I don't remember there ever being a time where someone said, "Oh, that never happened." I don't get like, okay, it's cool that they found all these cartridges. They happen to know exactly where they were at, which is kind of funny, but in general, who cares? They're just beating a bunch of old 2600 games that no one's going to want to play anyway.
Yes, everyone knew this. It was written about in the New York Times.
Yeah.
This is not like this wasn't like the New Mexico Conspiracy Theory Press.
Yeah.
It was
The Weekly World News.
the Weekly World News.
This is not
Bad
Roswell.
Boy did not bury those cartridges. It was real.
It really. There's pictures. I remember looking through one of my history. It might have been the Ultimate History of Video Games, and there's pictures in there of the landfill. It's like, why are we debating the authenticity of this? It freaking happened.
I remember when G4 used to be related to video games back in the olden days.
Yeah.
It wasn't that long
They-
ago.
Yeah, that was one like 2 years ago. Before
There
the
was-
Super Cops reruns.
Yeah, there was I think they did a special on that as well. Or at least it was part of their history of video games, documentary and stuff. I don't know. I think it's interesting, but I do agree that everybody knew it was real. It's not like it's exactly where it was, as you said. It's not like the Evil Dead. If you're an Evil Dead fan, there was a time capsule that was buried outside of the cabin that they filmed it. No one's ever been able to find it. But that's information for another podcast. I don't know. I think it's cool that they dug them up and are making a nice little documentary about it. But yeah, if they're acting like it wasn't, if it was all a possibility or a mystery, then no, everybody knows that's real. Just show us the cartridges and let's move on.
Yeah, I know there was some debate. I was reading some people talking about how come these cartridges were so well preserved. They should have been just dust at this point, but why would they go through such work to fake it too? It seems like a lot of work to fake stupid ET games.
Right. I mean, cartridges from the 80s, they were tough.
Yeah, you
know,
could
like,
run them over.
Yeah, I threw one out a window once, and it still worked.
I mean, Nintendo games used to make us mad. Never.
Yeah.
I don't even remember why it went out the window. I just remember that it did.
I never ripped my Battletoads cartridge out of the Nintendo and threw it across the room. That never happened.
Oh, we all know that happened. Everyone that played Battletoads knows that
Yeah,
happened.
that happened.
Everyone did it.
Not
That
me.
happened.
I had
Then
a
I picked-
Game Genie.
Hey, I threw it
That game
across
was
the room,
simple.
picked it up, put it in this Nintendo, and it still worked. So
Microsoft is trying to make a big deal out of this whole ET cartridge thing because they want it to be their first Xbox original documentary. And they've got like 12 different shows lined up, including 2 different Halo shows. Well, one is a show, one is possibly a movie or a short. They're being real cagey about it. It's going to involve Ridley Scott somehow. But Mike, what do you think? Are you going to watch any of these shows or movies that they're putting together for the Xbox originals?
I don't even know if I'll be able to, because is it only for the one or is it for the 360 as well?
It's supposed to be for both.
Oh, well, in that case, yeah, I'll watch it. It depends on what they're doing with it. If they're trying to go like, I don't know, like Real Housewives of Reach or something, then I probably would avoid that to a degree. But, it depends on the production value. They were saying, I believe, that some of it might not even include Master Chief.
Right. I mean, that's what was it? The Forward Unto Dawn shorts did. Like, they had him for like 3 seconds in each one.
Yeah.
well, a lot of the Halo books have nothing to do with the Master Chief or any of that. It's sort of like extended universe stuff, like in the Star Wars, going back to that, and that this stuff is about characters who don't even exist in the games. And that was a big problem with Halo 4. There are a lot of people going, none of this stuff is understandable because they didn't read the books. So I think the TV show, if you want to be a Halo fan, you probably should watch it because you're probably going to see characters that they're going to pigeonhole into a game, and you're going to be like, who are these people?
I guess I don't know. That is the kind of the problem with all expanded universe type stuff. And
if you're gonna expand it, that's fine. But get the guy in there just to get people hooked. And every once in a while, just bring him out. Hi, everybody, I'm Master Chief, and then he just walks away or something.
Fan service.
Yeah, exactly.
Hi, I'm Cortana, or whatever.
I don't know. There's one of them that they mentioned they're working on called Winter World. It's like some kind of post-apocalyptic thing where the entire world is stuck in this huge ice age. And I love post-apocalyptic stuff, and I live in one of the coldest places in the entire freaking world. So that could be interesting, but I don't know how are you gonna make a show where people just kind of shiver all the time?
That sounds like something that's better served for a 2-hour movie.
Right.
Starring Kevin Costner and Dennis Hopper.
What was that?
It's called Winter World.
It reminds me of that one movie that came out. I can't remember what it was called, but they were in Antarctica and there was a serial killer on the loose or something like that. And that sounds like...
Oh, I saw that. That was really stupid.
Yeah,
was that when Kate Beckinsale was in there?
Yes.
Is that the one?
Yes.
Oh, that movie was awful.
And the dude from Suits and the guy from Hawaii Five-0, yeah, they're all in that. It was a dumb movie, but that's what... If they want to go for something like that, that's how you got to do it. A 2-hour movie, not a 13-episode or whatever they're doing TV show. As to if I'm going to watch it or not, if it is on 360, yeah, because I don't have an Xbox One right now. But if it's interesting enough and it doesn't cost me anything, as long as you got to be a gold subscriber to watch it, I'll watch it. Especially that, because that ET documentary is part of this, so I'd watch that.
Yeah, as long as it has good enough production values,
Yeah, as long as it's not eye rolling stupidity,
Yeah.
I'll check it out.
If I could see the string holding the Banshee as it's flying, then yeah, then.
If it's dumb, I'm gonna quit. But if you put something really good together, then yeah, I'll check it out.
Yeah.
I guess we all have a lot of faith in Microsoft then. But what about the games they're working on? Microsoft's bringing a lot of stuff to E3 this year, including what they say is going to be multiple sequels and at least one new game. Mike, what sequels would you like to see Microsoft bring to E3 this year?
You know what? I want to see a proper sequel to Banjo-Kazooie. If I saw that, a lot of people really didn't like Nuts and Bolts. I didn't think it was as bad as people were saying it was. But if they brought a brand new one, that might make me consider getting the system because I love Banjo and Kazooie. Those are some awesome games for the 64, and the remakes were cool too. Let's see. You know what I want? I want another Lynx. I think we touched on that before. The golf game from 2004 for the original Xbox. Man, if they brought back Lynx, that'd be awesome too.
Be a good time too. There's no Tiger Woods golf anymore, so
yeah,
why not?
Well, EA is still going to put out a golf game this year.
Eventually, they haven't said it would have been out by now if it was Tiger Woods, but because
they just announced it today. It's coming out in January or something.
Oh, okay, so yeah, it's probably just going to be PGA Tour golf or something. But
right.
But for me, it's like if they announce it's supposedly going to happen, they're going to announce Forza Horizon 2. They're probably going to do that. I would like to see another a good attempt at Perfect Dark again. If it's true that Battletoads is going to become anything basically Rare did that they can still get a hold of, I wouldn't mind seeing it.
Get a new Snake, dude, new Anticipation.
Hell yeah, new Anticipation. What else? Did they do RC Pro-Am or something like that?
Yeah. I think Nintendo owns RC Pro-Am.
Well, they can call it Pro-Am RC or something, and then we'll be done. Microsoft for a long time that I got tired of is they were just constantly doing Halo, Gears of War, Fable. I would like to see them show some really cool stuff that is brand new. If they want to compete with Sony in that regard, they need to come up with some new games. That would convince me to buy one of their systems. If they do something new and not do too much on their old games.
Right.
Not that I won't mind a few. I love to see Forza Horizon 2. That game was really good. The first one was really good.
Mm-hmm.
So, but at the same time, it's let's show me something that you've never done before.
Yeah, they're going to be at least one brand new game.
Yeah.
I mean, now that you're mentioning Battletoads, I'd love to see a Battletoads brawler. Something,
That'd be awesome.
Something small, side-scrolling, digital.
Yeah, I thought with Microsoft, sometimes you get with anybody nowadays, you get super concerned about what they're going to do with it. Are they going to make it some Connect game, or are they going to,
Battletoads Connect?
Who knows, man?
Yeah.
Use the hoverboard by yourself with your hands and stuff. Who knows what they'll come up
That
with?
would almost be easier though than what
You
it
know,
actually was.
Probably.
It could be so easy to make an awesome Battletoads game. Give it to Way Forward, or
Yeah.
give it to
Double Helix.
It is Double Helix. Okay, or
Amazon owns Double Helix now.
That's
They
right.
can't.
Amazon owns them now. I forgot about that because they did a good job with Strider.
or the developers that made Scott Pilgrim.
I forget who did that.
Yeah, I don't know who that.
But I was a big fan of that game. So I think if they put it in the right hands and they make it, like an old school arcade brawl, or even make it like a Xbox Live Arcade game or
That'd
something.
be a good idea. That would be the best way to do it. They shouldn't sell it as a $60 game. They should make it a $25, $30 download game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because that I don't know, that kind of game you can't make like a 30-hour Battletoads game.
Yeah.
That would be insane.
Fun though.
With like branching conversations and everything.
Yeah, Mass Effect Battletoads. Do you choose the Renegade option or the Paragon option?
Zits or Pimple.
I was always rash.
L1 for all three together. I don't know.
Okay, well, we all are thinking about what Microsoft is bringing into E3, and Nintendo is doing their wacky video program E3 once more, and they've also announced that they're going to work on Fatal Frame 5 exclusively for the Japanese market. Now, I was going to ask you guys if you think they're mistreating their American fans by announcing it that way, but I'm going to take this one myself if you all don't mind.
No, go right ahead.
I am a huge Nintendo fan. I mean, I'm passionate about the games they make in ways that I feel for pretty much no other developer out there. And they're dropping the ball. No. They are definitely dropping the ball. But it's just that I can't have it. And they don't seem interested in even giving it to me.
Yeah.
And it baffles me.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say it wouldn't be the first time they'd done this, but I'm still waiting on a Hotel Dusk sequel for my DS. So I mean, it took a lot of, even like last with the Wii, they had like all the RPGs, Xenoblade and what was that one? Last Story. They had other people bring them over, or they had that was Operation Rainfall. They may have to do that again because Nintendo hasn't learned the first time.
Yeah. Wasn't there another Fatal Frame for the Wii that never came out over here?
I think number 4 never came over.
Yeah, I don't think so. The first 3 were on PS2, I think.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But think that wasn't Nintendo's thing. That was, I think, what, the Tecmo one there?
Right, Tecmo. But then they bought the franchise from them, and then now they're just releasing them in Japan.
It doesn't make sense because it's not like the Wii is this monster in Japan either. The Wii U is not doing that great, as bad as it's doing here. It's not doing that much better there. So what's the point?
I don't know. But it seems like this has been a common occurrence with the way NCL treats NOA.
Yeah, they kind of.
Yeah, I mean, how long have they been sitting on Mother 3? I know Earthbound is a cult game, but there's a translation done by a group of fans. Yeah. Bring it over.
Yeah.
Well, so they do what was it? Wasn't there a couple of games they sold only on their store? Do something like that. Only release it as a download in the eShop. Whatever. Just let people get a chance to play it. I get if you don't want to manufacture cartridges and that kind of stuff and sell it in a store, but that's the whole idea of having downloads, is it cuts down your overhead.
They're doing a little better. Like, they're giving us some different stuff. Like, they teamed up with Platinum and they're doing Bayonetta 2. They did the Wonderful 101. They're working on Xenoblade 2, and they're going to bring that over for sure. Mm-hmm. And like they teamed up with Tecmo again for that Hyrule Warriors game. Like that, it looks stupid and silly, but it looks also like it's going to be fun.
Right.
So like they're on the right track. They have to do more.
Yeah, it just seems like they're being really weird. Like, we don't, number one, or number two, whatever. There's not a lot of horror games out there right now, especially on the Wii U. So why not put one out there?
They're just ignoring like an entire group of people that might want to play the Wii U.
Right. Well, yeah, exactly. It's like that's the kind of game that you would use to sell your system. You don't, or show that, hey, we are interested in, bringing over different kind of games and not just Mario and Zelda. It's like, here's something completely different, but yet they're not.
I don't know. I can't explain it either.
No, you'd have to. You're going to see Operation Rainfall all over again just to see if anybody has any interest in bringing it over.
I mean, I didn't think the first couple of games did that bad over here. Like, I thought people kind of liked the series.
No, I remember being. I mean, I don't think it was super popular, but the people who played it really liked it. So there's obviously an audience for it.
But I know one of the things Nintendo's doing right for sure is what they're doing with Mario Kart 8. I mean, the game looks fantastic for one, and now they're giving away a free game with it. Adam, how do you think this compares to like what Sony's doing with PlayStation Plus and what Microsoft is doing with games with gold?
Well, I think kind of like both of those, it sort of stems out of Nintendo's desperation. They know they have to sell their hardware. PlayStation Plus came around when PS3 wasn't doing very well. Games with gold came along because PS Plus came out and was really good, and everyone's like, "Hey, you should do this too." And now Nintendo's like, "Oh, we need to get in that pie." It's a long way to go to be as good as those two because you're talking about one game when you buy the system. They have to keep it going for a while in order to kind of be equivalent. But it's a good start. It's like, hey, here's $330 system. You get Mario Kart, you get the wheel, you get the remote, and you get a free game too. That's a pretty good starter package.
Well, they're including with every copy of the game too. You can buy the game just by itself.
Right. So, it's a good way to add some value to your system, especially when, the other systems, like the PS4 isn't that far off in price, and, it's a way at least to get some people interested in it.
Yeah, it's definitely, due to the sales. It's just, I don't think it's not so much an answer to PlayStation Plus and Games of Gold as it is an answer to the sales of the system. And I think it's a great deal too. I don't have the Wii U, but I mean this, like you just said, $330 for the system, wheel, controller, and 2 games. That's
a good deal.
Really good.
That would kind of deal I would buy a Wii U for. That's close to where I would be like, hey, I'll buy one of these things. So that's what they're banking on. I'm guessing is people going, oh, Mario Kart. Ooh, I can get Zelda or Mario Brothers, whatever. That sounds great.
Yeah, I mean, the game selection is not terrible. It's New Super Mario Brothers U, Pikmin 3, Wind Waker HD, or Wii Party U. I mean, those. Yeah. They're pretty good games.
I would do that. I would get Zelda. So so that would be great. That's a good deal.
Yeah.
And they're banking on that, and they're hoping that enough people buy it that they can invest in games and maybe bring the Wii to respectability.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely need that because I mean, they announced their financial report either yesterday or this morning.
It wasn't very good.
It was bad.
Yeah.
You need to put that like Price is Right fail sound in this podcast during this.
Yeah. Yeah, really. I mean, it's too bad, but I guess that's what happened. I suppose one of those things where they just didn't deliver what people wanted, and now they're paying for it. So they have to figure out how to get people back on board.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I don't think it's a completely lost cause. They have a chance to be, respectable, and at the very least compete. They may not have a chance to catch anybody, but they can at least, be like, hey, you can come play games on our system and not be wishing you had the other ones.
I think that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
That's pretty much their only real marketing campaign right now is we do have games you can't get other places, so why don't you come buy our system?
One of those games actually is Super Smash Bros. 4. Now, Nintendo's bringing that to E3. They're going to show off the Wii U version of that too. And they're actually going to install a bunch of kiosks at Best Buys across the country with Smash Bros. 4. Is that going to get anybody interested in the Wii U, do you think, Mike?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think they did it last year too. With
they did. It was much
bunch
smaller
of 3DS
last year.
demos. Yeah, absolutely. Anything to get to get more people interested in the system. And obviously, Smash Brothers is a big system seller, especially now that they're working with Namco on it. Namco is well known for their fighting games, so bringing that level of experience to Smash Bros. Only make it even better, especially on the fighting game community. But having a demo at Best Buy, I think that's a great idea. The only downside I see to that is somebody plays the game. Oh, this is awesome! I want to get it. Well, hold on a second there, buddy. You're gonna have to wait till December for that.
Well, that and I hope the demo is really polished and up to snuff, because if some people think, oh, this is garbage, that's going to turn people away. They have to make sure it is really, really polished and good. Not that I doubt it. Nintendo, if one thing they do right, their games are always very, very well done. So, but I think it's a good idea. You want to generate excitement. It's that's the way you do it. You put a game that's coming soon, and you go, hey, you can only play this on either the 3DS or the Wii U. You can't play it on a PS4 or whatever, or an Xbox or a computer. So, they give people a chance to play it, and they can, generate some anticipation for it.
They're going to do it. They're going to put it out there. People are going to play it. If it's good, that's great. If not, Right. Nintendo's already in a bad spot. This is not going to hurt them in any way.
No.
Also,
no.
it'll help them push that Mario Kart bundle with the free game too. Oh, you like Smash Brothers? Well, you will have to wait. But in the meantime, here's two games that come with the system.
Yeah,
that's not a bad idea either.
Yeah, they can stack a bunch of Wii U's by their kiosk and go, you want to play this? You can buy one of these, and I mean, granted, you can play it on 3DS as well, but I'm sure that the Wii U version is the one they're going to want to push.
Right.
I mean, the 3DS version probably is more of a bone to Japan than us.
I don't know. People have been asking for a handheld version of Smash Brothers for a long time.
Yeah, well, because they can't put Smash Brothers on a Virtual Console because the 3DS apparently cannot handle N64 games. But, of course, not enough buttons. But, regardless, it's like, but at the same time, maybe they should have made 2 separate Smash Brothers games so they didn't take away from the Wii U version. But that's a different subject entirely.
But yeah, I mean, maybe Nintendo is smarter than we give them credit for.
Maybe. We'll see.
Maybe.
They should do maybe they should do cross-buy, like Sony does, maybe. But
now you're asking for the moon.
Yeah. I'm asking too much out of Nintendo.
Yeah.
They want your money twice.
Okay, well, to end this episode of Continue Countdown, we're going to end on a bit of a sad note. Bob Hoskins died recently. Most people will know him as Eddie Valiant in the Who Framed Roger Rabbit movie. Just a great, great movie. But he was also Mario in the Super Mario Brothers movie from 1993. Adam, Mike, you guys want to say a few words about Bob Hoskins?
Well, I actually do not remember if I've even seen the Super Mario Brothers movie, and that's really bad for me to say, but I don't remember if I've seen it.
Wow.
I know.
No, you're better off.
Yeah, I'm actually proud to say that I've never seen the Super Mario Brothers movie.
Yeah.
Oh my God, how are you guys the same age as me?
I don't know. You haven't played Knights of the Old Republic, dude.
That's true.
But he was really good in Roger Rabbit, so I got that. I want to say I might have seen that movie, but it's been so long that I don't remember much about it.
I think I remember bits and pieces of it. Just
besides, even as a kid, I very much knew most video game movies were really bad.
But it was like the first video game movie.
Yeah, was it?
Maybe Street Fighter was first.
No, Mario came before.
No, Mario came before Street Fighter.
Okay, then it was first.
But Street Fighter was awesome, so it's not even.
Not as good as Double Dragon.
Wait.
No. It was also a Street Fighter.
There's a Double Dragon movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I apparently do not keep up on this. You could tell me anything else, my head might explode on this podcast.
Did you hear there's a Mortal Kombat movie too?
Yes, I do know about that.
Okay.
I mean, my family watched that one time, and I think they hate me for it still.
Bob Hoskins apparently hated Super Mario Brothers. It just was apparently a giant mistake. I mean, you don't know that. Neither of you know that because you didn't watch it.
Well,
but it was a giant mistake, and he hated it. But he was a fun Mario.
Yeah. No, I mean, I agree with what you were saying about Bob Hoskins. I think he had a major problem with the brother and sister director duo because they were just like some weird people that just had some major issues.
They were trying to make Blade Runner, and no.
Yeah, I do remember it being like not really Mario Brothers. It was
Blade Runner for kids.
Yeah, it's like they didn't. I keep on thinking of Super Mario. I keep on getting it confused with the Super Mario Brothers Super Show.
Captain Lou Albano.
Captain Lou Albano. Yes, I keep on thinking that. Yes, that was actually pretty good to watch. But
sadly, he died too a few years ago. I think.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I remember seeing him all the time. I remember the first time I really started watching wrestling. I saw him and I go, "Hey, that's the dude from the Mario Brothers program." I felt like Mario was like managing the head shrinkers or something. But so yeah, I do remember they they wasn't exactly the way they wanted. They should have done it better. If they made it more true to the original material, it might have been good.
There was an original script that was very true to the original, but with Hollywood executives and everything, they just beat the hell out of that script.
Wait. Actually, I went to Amazon to look at the packaging, and they show a guy with a gun.
At the end, Mario and Luigi use super scopes against Bowser, who's played by Dennis Hopper. Who turns into a giant T-Rex.
How come Nintendo didn't assassinate these people for making this movie?
Have they made another movie since? It's very possible Nintendo did.
You have a very good.
I'm gonna go watch Unleashed.
Oh, with Jet Li.
Yeah.
I can watch Who Framed Roger Rabbit. That sounds like fun.
So yeah, that is all we have for this time's Continue Countdown. At the end of every Continue Countdown, you always want to add your initials to the leaderboard to show everyone that you were the top dog for the day. Adam, Mike, you guys got any initials for this episode? All right, I will jump in with the save then. This time's initials are MKS for more Kaiser Soze.
All right.
You know, when you're done watching Roger Rabbit, Adam, definitely pop in Usual Suspects.
And then Double Dragon.
And then Double Dragon.
No, I don't have that.
It's a good time for movies.
I do have Usual
Rewatch some stuff.
Then I can watch House of Cards with the initials FU.
I guess that's a good place then to end.
Yeah.
Good night, all.